Hello everyone, Enzo here and welcome back to the channel. In today's lore video, we will be looking at the mysterious forge that is beside your Vasker, known as the Skyforge. The most interesting thing about this forge is the statue of the bird that is right beside it. As I was creating this story, the mystery of the Skyforge has intrigued me more and more as I didn't realize how much lore it actually held. 13 years of Skyrim later and I always thought this statue was just a nice touch to the lay of the land. But no, it has quite a significance behind the city in its origins. As always, if you are enjoying the content that I am putting out on the channel, please leave a like on these videos as they help with the overall exposure of the lore videos from a storytelling perspective. If you want to see the other videos I have put out, consider subscribing to the channel and checking out my Twitch for streams so we can hang out. I will have the link in the description below. The goal is 1,000 subs at the end of the year, so it would be great if we could reach this milestone. I will greatly appreciate it. Now, let the lore story commence. It is a foggy afternoon in the streets of Whiterun. A young boy takes a sword up to the Skyforge for Yorland Greymane. "Who is sending this sword?" asked the old blacksmith. "Jarl Balgruuf himself is requesting this, Sir Yorland," says the boy. "What did I say? Just call me Yorland. I'm not one for formalities." "Very well, you can leave it with me. I will have it done soon. Why don't you go to your Vasker and have a few drinks while you wait?" As the young boy makes his way down the Skyforge, he sees a Nord looking up at the bird statue that overlooks the forge. Oh my, this is quite as impressive as he suddenly turns around to look at the boy, seemingly shocked. "Oh, you can see, never mind. I was just admiring the bird statue on this forge. Tell me, boy, where are you headed?" "I'm just headed to your Vasker to get some drinks. Want to join?" "Of course. I am glad people still partake in the joys of drinking. Let's go." The boy leads the way down, being followed by this mysterious person, not realizing that behind him, Yorland looks to him with suspicion. The two then sit in the Hall of the Companions, where they sit on a table and begin to partake in the drinks. "So, what brings you to Whiterun?" the boy asks. "Why, I live here, of course. Looking at all of this is quite formidable, but I enjoy the sights that the hold has to offer. What about you? What do you do?" "I'm a blacksmith in training. I want to work at the Skyforge one day. Yorland Greymane is not one for chit-chat or the like, so I currently am training under Adrienne." "I see. Well, to work the Skyforge one day is quite the honor." "Hold on, did you say Greymane?" "Yes, I did." The name sounds familiar, but I can't put a face to it. Oh well, I must be forgetting. Anyway, why do you want to work at the Skyforge? I'm sure you can open your own blacksmith business anywhere. That is quite a specific goal." "Well, I have always been told that the Skyforge is one of the best forges in all of Skyrim. Most people who want their weapons sharpened and equipment of the finest quality made are done here. I want to get the chance to work here and specifically work for the Companions one day." "That is quite an ambitious goal, young lad. Tell me, are you familiar with the bird statue that overlooks the forge?" "Not really, but it is a very well carved statue, so I thought it was there to add to the flair and aura of the Skyforge." "I don't know about flair, but it certainly has some sort of aura surrounding it. Ah, I suppose I should tell you the story about the Skyforge, seeing as you may work there one day. Sit back and enjoy your drink. Oh, before I forget, I should introduce myself. My name is Jeek." Now, believe it or not, this bird statue has a very rich history in these lands. In fact, the statue predates even that of the city itself. All the way back in the days of the Merethic era, when elves roamed the land of Skyrim, a small group known as the 500 Companions sailed here from Atmora to establish themselves and create a new life. They were able to inhabit part of the land and create a city known as Sarthal. After a war with the Snow Elves that saw the Companions lose, then regain the ancient city, the Companions then broke off and went their own ways to explore more of the lands of Skyrim. A few of those Companions found themselves in what is now Whiterun Hold, an area of Skyrim that was suspiciously uninhabited by the elves. It was then that they saw it, the statue of a bird on top of a hill overlooking the lands. "You're telling me that this bird has already been here long before the city?" "Yes, indeed. In fact, it was because of this land that was free of elves that the small group of the Companions decided to settle here and eventually build the foundation of what is now Whiterun. The roof of this hall looks like the hull of a ship. What do the locals call this place? Jorvasker? This was the same boat that company came in when they established this place. I am glad that it is still Mead Hall after this time." Now, it was never determined what was the reason why the elves, an ancient and wise race, feared this statue, and many theories have come to light. Despite the elves claiming that this bird predates even their own habitation of these lands, it is said to drive an unknown but very old source of magic. Some even say the gods even had plans of turning this place into its own rendition of paradise in Mundus, which may explain why it is quite a beautiful plain setting compared to some of the other parts of Skyrim. But that logic is beyond me. Perhaps there is someone out there who can go further into the mysteries of magic that may be inhabiting this statue. If you ask me, the fact that someone can even carve a bird out of stone with all the details the way they are, it's impressive, even to myself. It's no wonder the companions at the time decided to build a mead hall right by the statue, to possess and protect themselves from the elves who do not dare to step foot here. Over time, the rest of the city was built, with people coming into the lands and inhabiting the city that is now called Whiterun. But the Hall of the Companions and the forge in which the bird statue looks over has always been a constant. You may have known that the Companions are the oldest faction here. That much is true. The forge itself is also known to produce weapons made of Skyforge steel, a very well-tempered steel that is said to be of the highest quality in all of Tamriel. It is no surprise that many who are wise to have their weapons sharpened come here. I would imagine that Yorlin Greymane, the current blacksmith of the Skyforge, works day and night, often doing forge work for people, which is probably why he doesn't have time to take apprentices under his wing and train them. There is another interesting tidbit of history behind this forge. Come, I will show you. The mysterious man leads the boy into the side of the Skyforge near the stairs going up, and suddenly an entrance appears when a slab of the stone wall slides open. What is this place? Asks the boy upon entering the secret chamber. There is another piece of history that's connected to this forge, but for a very different reason. In the second, or was it the third era, forgive my hazy memory, a harbinger had made a deal with the witches of Glenmoral Coven that resulted in them being infected by lycanthropy. Of course, this was around the time where the companions were going through dark times, so I imagine that this deal would not have been made unless there was a reason for it. But pretty much the established inner circle of companions known as the Circle are the only ones who can receive this gift. However, to be part of this group, one must work their way up the ranks of the companions until they receive it. Of course, they do not have to accept this, as some see it as an infection that must be cured, while others see it as a gift that comes with being a companion, but it was never part of the original message the companions had stood for. Regardless, this tradition has gone on for at least 2 eras, so it has been a staple of this version of the companions. You can see totems are dedicated to her scene, with a ceremonial bowl in the center where new initiates can drink from in order to receive this condition. Having the totems present during this initiation ceremony is said to maximize the powers of the initiate as a Lycan. I can only imagine the trouble the companions at the time went through just to collect these ancient artifacts. It has a very different purpose to the Skyforge itself. I believe they have taken to calling this place the Underforge. After telling the story of the Underforge, Jeek and the young man return to Jorrvaskr. Well, that about covers it for the Skyforge and its quite rich history. Do you have any questions? I do, the boy wonders. You mentioned a lot of history. In fact, I doubt some of the most renowned historians could know about what you just told me. How do you know so much about the Skyforge? The door to the hall suddenly opens and Yorlin Greymane looks at the young man with the sword. Here is the sword, nice and tempered. Who were you talking to earlier? Oh, Jeek? He's right. The boy turns around to introduce his friend, but no one sits on the chair where Jeek was. You know, boy, it does not do well to talk to yourself. You said you wanted to train to become a blacksmith for the Skyforge. Perhaps one day you'll get there, but make sure you keep working to perfect your craft. I am sure Adrienne is a good teacher. Now, take this sword to the Jarl and carry on with your day. Go. The boy takes a sword from Yorland and then goes off, with Yorland looking at him. Jeek, huh? Of all people. Yorland returns to the Skyforge to continue his work. And that'll do it for the lore video behind the Skyforge. Let me know what you guys thought about this in the comment section below. Leave a like on this video if you guys enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more Elder Scrolls content. Other than that, this is Enzo signing out, and I'll see you all soon.